Loneliness is literally a silent killer. Right, so I'm going to go straight into this video. I have been thinking about doing YouTube for a while, but it's just a bit nervous and unsure. So the title of this is The Loneliness Epidemic, and the reason why I've decided to call it that is because I wanted to speak on my own experience with loneliness, and I've got a little notebook with some points I wanted to cover, and I just wanted it to be transparent because I'm not all the way there, and I know a lot of people aren't either. So I just really just wanted to have a chit chat, and it's cozy in the car. The car's turned off, so don't worry. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about how, firstly, like, we've lost the art of human interaction. We're so caught up with social media that we think we have friends, and then when you want to go and do something, or you feel like you're having a crisis, you feel like you've got nobody, even though you seem to know a lot of people. I've definitely felt like that before in my life, which, I don't know, it just makes you feel like you're going crazy because you feel like you know, and you have all these people on your Snapchat, your Instagram, and you feel like you've got no one to actually like talk to. And if you do have somebody to talk to, sometimes it feels like there's not much that they can do. But then it's also like a thing where we shouldn't always expect everyone to do things for us or help us or save us, do you know what I mean? Because the saving part, it's only you that can save yourself and God, do you know what I mean? It is quite hard though. I definitely say it's quite hard. Because then I feel like when I try to socialise, or when I try to interact, like, it takes so much effort, and I feel like I don't know if I'm an introvert or extrovert, because I do thrive socialising in person, but I also struggle with it. It's hard because there's times where I felt so lonely that I like would go out and try to make friends, and those friends that you have then when you're on a night out is different to the friends that you could talk to on a regular basis. You probably don't talk to the girls that you've met on a night out again, but it's quite sad. It's quite sad because I feel like we actually don't know how to interact with each other and maintain quality friendships and relationships. And I definitely think, with my own experience, self-sabotage is a big part of it. And I do sabotage my own friendships and relationships when I do have something good. And I do have this like list of expectations. I expect them to be ticking off, which I shouldn't, because I definitely don't meet them expectations for my friends. And I've definitely been an absent friend. And I've had these thoughts about my friends like, oh, they don't care about me. But everyone's got their own life going. It is definitely hard as you grow up as well. You just, everyone's so busy. It's like we don't know how to communicate that we're busy, but also find time to socialise, because life can be so demanding when you have kids. I have a child and I'm studying, and that is so hard to then have a social life as well. You have to think about childcare, you have to think about whether you've got an assignment due or studying to do. I think it's quite draining to think about it. I just wanted to be honest and have a real talk about this. I'd say another example I was thinking about was definitely when I first felt lonely was when I was a child and my dad left, because I was my daddy's daughter. Like, my dad was the world to me. He was up here. You couldn't top my dad. Like, he was everything to me. So when he left, it was literally like my heart had been taken and thrown in the bin, and I wasn't considered. And I felt so heartbroken because I could see it happening between my parents. And I'd used to get my parents to, like, in Cinderella and them Disney movies where the prince and the princess would dance, I would literally ask them to dance and kiss because I didn't want them to break up, but I could see that they were like splitting up. And I'd make them dance. I'd be like, please dance, and cry. And and then my dad left, and since then I've always had this like gap in my life that I've never been able to fill, which is, it's quite sad, but it's my reality, and I definitely see it now as an adult, because I'm always chasing something to fill that gap, but I also seem to not know how to maintain good friendships or good relationships sometimes. I wouldn't say I'm the worst, but there's definitely moments that I have that I really struggle with trying to maintain them friendships and reach out. I always feel like everyone owes it to me sometimes to reach out to me, but I've started to reach out to people. I've got a couple of friends abroad, and it's hard to communicate with them. I've got family abroad. I definitely know I can do better. It's like trying to find the time and making the time. You have to be so intentional about it. It feels almost impossible. But then again, it's like, you have to do this, otherwise you're gonna have no one. And then again, I feel like a lot of us in my generation, I'm 23, we feel so lonely. Like, we don't feel like we have a community or a village to lean on to support us. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I just think we all feel so isolated, and we don't know how to repair those building blocks in them friendships, in those relationships, and be there for each other without feeling so drained, like financially, energy wise. It's so hard to maintain them friendships, I think, especially when you've got other things to do. But I think it's something we have to put effort into doing. Even with relationships, like, I feel like I've definitely self-sabotaged in relationships when I have something good going. But then I feel like also I don't like being alone, so I don't always like to be single. So in my moments of singleness, I hate it. And I was thinking, oh, should I feel guilty for hating being single? But thinking about it and reflecting on it, I don't think I should hate it. I should maybe not like it, but hating is a strong word. But I don't like being alone. I really don't like it. I can have my moments where I'm by myself, in the evening, and relax and wind down and stuff, but I don't like not having somebody to talk to. And I think that's human nature. That's how humans are. We're not meant to be alone. Like, when I think of examples of like in history, people are always in communities helping each other. When you have children, you're supposed to have a village to raise that family, to help you, support you. Sorry, some people walked by. But yeah, like, you're not supposed to do things by yourself. Like, when we celebrate, we seem to have a community, we have a village. But when we're going through stuff and you want to be transparent with people and say, oh, this is what I'm struggling with, can you help me? But I also think that my generation, we don't have the tools on how to respond to one of our friends saying, I need help. Like, we don't know what to respond to that, which obviously is a big problem, because then there's a separation in the friendship and the relationship, because we don't actually know how to be there for people and how to maintain them friendships and relationships. That's from my own experience. I'm just talking from my own experience, because I remember around the time where I was pregnant, I was 19, and I thought, oh yeah, part of having a baby is I'm going to have a gender reveal, a baby shower. It's going to be a beautiful time, even though it's not the best scenario. But I didn't have a gender reveal, I didn't have a baby shower, I didn't have any of that. But this is not me saying, oh, it's my friend's fault and family's fault. I had a little baby shower at the end with some of my cousins and my family. That was really nice. But also, I was not maintaining my friendships at that time. I had isolated myself from everyone, and I was in this dark little world in my head. And I didn't know how to communicate anything to my friends or ask for help. I was just suffering by myself and trying to pray to God and understand what's going on in my life, because that was the year I was supposed to start uni. And I did start uni and I completed uni and I got a first class, so that's a good thing, whilst having a baby, and I'm here. But you know, we can't expect things from people if we don't put in the effort ourselves, because everybody is lonely. Everyone has this issue. Not everyone, but a lot of people are struggling in silence, and it's also like we're expecting somebody to come and save you, but you have to get yourself out of it. Obviously there are charities and people you can talk to, but it's not always that easy. I know it's not that easy. I've been in therapy a couple of times since I was 15, and I think that's developed some type of self-awareness for me. I know when I'm falling back into a bit of a low mood, and I don't feel great, and I'm becoming all foggy, and I talk about it with my therapist. And you know, I don't always have the best relationships with my family, and part of it is because of me pulling back and me just doing what I want to do without thinking, and that does have an effect on people. But I definitely think as a generation we have to start connecting the dots and thinking about our own like contribution to why our friendships and our socialization doesn't always work. It's a thing where everyone needs to put in the effort to kind of recognize why we feel lonely. Like there's always a why, but I don't think we all have the skills to know why. But this isn't me giving advice. This is just me thinking about what it is that, like, why everyone feels so lonely and depressed and sad. I'm not an expert, but I genuinely think people are suffering. Let's see what else is on this list that I wanted to talk about, because I didn't want to waffle. Yeah, even like with my relationship with God, it is so up and down, and I think part of it is shame, because I feel like sometimes the Bible is black and white on what you do and what you shouldn't do, and I feel like sometimes in my life everything doesn't feel black and white. Sometimes it feels like there is a bit of grey, but I know that's not how you should live your life, and it's a constant battle for me. And there's definitely been times where I felt so lonely, and I'm like, God, please just like not. It's quite a dark thing, but like I don't want to die or anything, but just like, God, like just take me. Like I've had enough of life's worries, stresses. I'm lonely. My heart feels broken. Like, just help me. And it reminds me of this text, like when you cry, like God sees your tears, and he counts every tear. I think I wrote the verse down. It says, you keep track of all of my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. And that's Psalms 56 verse 8, and that's in the New Living Translation. And that text is something I always remember when I'm feeling like really low and down, because like it gives me a comfort that I know that God is like listening to me, especially when I feel so alone sometimes. When I feel so alone in parenting, when I was doing my degree, and now I'm doing my master's, and I felt so alone at times trying to figure out everything. And it's only God that can hear me. It's only God that can really understand. And then I feel like I betray God when I sin. It's such a up and down battle. But then I also thought of it as in, you have to have a relationship with God. Like, having a relationship with God means actually talking to him, because sometimes I'll do like a little worship and I find it so hard to talk to God because he's not like physically there, and I feel awkward. But if I want a better relationship with God, I have to speak to him. And I heard this somewhere where someone said, why would you want to go to heaven if you don't have a relationship with God? It's like going to somebody's house that you're not friends with and being there every single day and you don't know them. Like, why would you want to do that? So yeah, I'm trying to work on that. I'm not all the way there. And I probably seem quite positive talking about this, but man, sometimes my heart, like, it hurts so much. I can't even describe it. It actually feels like heartbreak. Like, this life is so hard, and I have got good friends and family, but you know, like, the loneliness sometimes, like, I feel so lonely, like, trying to figure out my life. Like, it makes me so emotional. I can't wait for those days where I feel like joy again and like happiness consistently. And sometimes I feel like that I'm never going to feel that on this earth, and I'll only feel it in heaven. And I think part of that is because, like I mentioned before, like, I do self-sabotage, and I'm trying to work my way out of it, but I just do it. Honestly, I'm trying to recognize the patterns, and I can see that that is a pattern. And I know to reach that happiness, I have to stop that self-sabotaging. But yeah, I wanted this to just be a real video, and I want to be consistent with this. And I'm not very good at editing and stuff like that, but I hope, like, somebody could relate to this video and what I'm saying. I know it's a bit all over the place, but I just wanted it to be a bit raw and real. So yeah, and I'll see you guys in another video.